Squiz Kids acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands on which we podcast, the Turrbal and Gadigal people.
Squiz Kids!
It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Amanda Bauer. It's Thursday, March 9. In Squiz Kids Today, cracking down on sharenting, seaweed-fighting robots, scootering from Melbourne to Cairns, and an airport catastrophe. That's what's making news, Kids style.
The lowdown.
Is sharenting something that happens in your family? Sharenting is a portmanteau, which means a word made by blending two other words. In this case, sharing, as in social media, and parenting, sharenting. And in France, the government is worried about how far some sharents are willing to go in their efforts to get internet famous. Lately, they've seen trends of French influencer parents throwing spoons full of mashed potato or slices of processed cheese at their babies' faces and filming the reaction. Apparently, these videos earned parents thousands of dollars. Another popular prank involves filming a kid as a pretend police officer says they're going to be arrested for not listening to their parents. Experts say that these videos exploit kids for money. They can be humiliating for kids, invade their privacy, and could even make kids the targets of bullies or criminals. The proposed French law would require that kids who are old enough be involved in deciding whether their images are posted online by their parents. Studies show that on average, every kid's picture is shared on social media 1,300 times before they turn 13 and are old enough to share their own pics. Under the French law, if parents are found to focus more on fame and fortune than their kids' welfare, they could lose the right to post images. French oversharents, be warned.
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in the ocean waters around the Caribbean. But if you're imagining warm, crystal clear waves, you're going to need to scratch that and picture instead enormous, rotting masses of floating brown seaweed. Welcome to the Great Atlantic Sargassum Belt, which has grown to be so massive that you can see it from space. The invasive seaweed bloom now stretches from the Gulf of Mexico to the Congo. I'll put a map in your episode notes. The explosion of sargassum is occurring due to climate change and pollution, and it's harming wildlife and tourism and causing health problems for humans. But a super cute robot shaped like a stingray may be able to help. It's working to capture the sargassum, then sink it down thousands of metres below the surface, which has the added advantage of locking away for hundreds of years the carbon that's stored in the seaweed. Robots for the win-win.
Animal Kingdom.
Airport security staff in America got a shock this week when they spotted a live cat on their baggage X-ray machine. Although small pets are allowed on American flights, this owner either didn't know or forgot to remove the feline from its carrier before sending the bag through the machine. Luckily, no harm came to the cat. Amazingly, airport staff have also found a boa constrictor and a dog in other passengers' hand luggage. I'll put photos in your episode notes. Doggone it. What a catastrophe. You're welcome.
Believe it or not.
What's the furthest you've ever gone on a scooter? I'll bet it's not as far as the 23-year-old Japanese tourist who's getting himself from Melbourne to Cairns, that's 3,000 kilometres, on a bright blue scooter. 23-year-old Ryoke Mifune, who is known by his childhood nickname, Uni, wanted a scooter adventure. He thought things would get too complicated if he worried about the trip's details, so he jumped straight in. He chose Australia because it looked like a big place on Google Maps. Well, he was right about that. He's only a few weeks into his travels and he's had sunburn and blisters, he's lost a toenail, he's even been woken up by sprinklers while sleeping in a park. But the best part of Uni's journey has been all the help and support he's received along the way. People all along the east coast are watching on the sides of the road for a man in a traditional Japanese straw hat and flimsy sandals with a guitar strapped to his back. They're offering him meals, a place to stay, a nice warm shower. If you live in that part of the world, you might want to watch out for Uni and give him a big, friendly konnichiwa.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What is the name of the type of seaweed causing problems in the Atlantic Ocean? Yep, that was a tricky one. Well done if you remembered sargassum. Question number 2. What is the new word describing parents who post pics of their kids on social media? Yep, they're sharents who are sharenting. And question number 3. Uni, the Japanese tourist, is scootering from where to where? You got it, all the way from Melbourne to Cairns.
Shout-outs.
It's March 9. On this day, way back in 1959, the first Barbie doll was sold. Apparently, the toy company Mattel has sold more than 1 billion Barbies since, about 3 dolls every second. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Jack from Cronulla, Arosh from Oran Park, Kavia from Montmorency, Ruby from Greensborough, Lucas from Cannon Hill, Olive from Peachelba, Max from Narendra, Artie from Deniliquin, Ivan from Lynham, Tiger Lily and Annie from Wattle Ridge, Sophie from Bulwarra Heights and Arian from Melbourne. And belated shout-outs go to Sophie from Torrens and Jessie from Canberra. Today's classroom shout-outs go to Room 14 and Miss Irvine at Anzac Terrace Primary School in Bassendean, Class Lawson and Miss Rampling at Franklin Public School in Tumut, Class 4 HJ and Miss Jepson at Nunda State School, Class 6C and Mrs Curtice at Cherrybrook Public School, Class 5-6M and Mrs Murray at Camden Public School, and Classes 5G and 6P at St Joseph's Primary School in Narendra. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout out, or if you want a classroom shout out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au or fill out the form on our website. That's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over.